was suggested by one of our awesome members, Katoshi Dragius, so a big thank you for the video suggestion. If you would like to help support the channel, then be sure to like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, click that join button and become a member today. Skill, honor, and heart are the three attributes that define Ember Moon. In NXT, Moon battled her way to become NXT Women's Champion, putting away those who stood in her way with her devastating but breathtaking Eclipse finisher.
There it is! Oh, the Eclipse!
However, she's a prime example of a very talented NXT competitor who sadly floundered when called up to the main roster. She suffered loss after loss as well as injuries, which kept her sidelined for months. Moon made a surprise return to the yellow brand at NXT TakeOver 31, and went on to team up with Shotzi Blackheart. It wasn't long until the two captured the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, making Moon the first person to win both the NXT Women's Championship and NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. The narcissistic, selfie-loving model gimmick of Tyler Breeze looked to be an exciting prospect during his days in NXT. Although he often came up short in matches, he had all the makings of a top heel. However, like a lot of homegrown NXT talent, that all changed when he arrived on the main roster. That's until the team of Breezango came along. The Fashion Police was born.
What are you doing?
You have the right to remain stylish.
And each week, we were treated with weekly Fashion Files segments which were comedy gold.
Here, drink this. Drink this. It's a damn good cup of coffee, Breeze.
Tyler Breeze was sent back to NXT, where he became involved in a feud with the Velveteen Dream.
Hey, listen here, dollar store detective. Maybe you forgot sitting in catering on Monday and Tuesday nights.
Shortly after, Breeze reunited with Fandango, and the pair went on to win the NXT Tag Team Championships. Their first titles in the WWE, believe it or not. After competing on WWE Tough Enough, Mandy Rose made her in-ring televised singles debut in NXT in September 2016, losing to Ember Moon.
Oh!
That would be her only singles match in NXT before joining the main roster as part of Absolution. Rose became involved in several storylines, most notably her romance storyline with Otis, which was a hit with the WWE Universe.
I don't know what he's doing anymore.
Rose went on to team up with Dana Brooke for a short while, before making a surprise return to NXT in July 2021. It is believed that Rose was traded from Raw to NXT in exchange for Aaliyah. When Samoa Joe arrived in NXT, you just knew that it spelled trouble for his opponents. He bulldozed his way through competition, and went on to become the first ever two-time NXT champion. Things could only go on the up from there, right? Wrong. As Joe never quite received the same treatment when he was called up to the main roster. Injuries never helped his cause either. In a shocking turn of events, Samoa Joe was released from the WWE in April 2021, only to be rehired a couple of months later, but in NXT, where he is now a history-making three-time NXT champion. They say that Finn Balor is an extraordinary man, who can do extraordinary things, and his list of accomplishments prove that. In NXT, he achieved a record-setting run at the time as NXT champion, And in his first pay-per-view match, after getting called up to the main roster, he became the first ever Universal Champion. Something he's sure to remind you of.
This guy here was the very first Universal
Champion!
However, Balor had to sadly relinquish the Universal title due to an injury less than 24 hours after winning it. And from that point on, he was never able to reach the top of the ladder again.
Finn, you're a great competitor. I don't know.
Balor was able to revitalize his career by returning to NXT, where he went on to become NXT champion for a second time, before returning back to the main roster to challenge once again for the title
that I never lost.
I never lost that title.
I never lost that title.
I never actually lost that title.
If you sign this contract, I'm gonna smash you.
Yeah, boy.